Hey y'all, welcome back. Welcome if you're new. Today I'm going to be doing a really pretty set. It's going to be a rose gold glitter that also has butterflies in it. It's going to be a butterfly theme. I've already got my tips applied. Um, Prep work is done. Cuticles are taken care of. Everything's been gone over with a file, all that good stuff. The glitter is from, of course, A&A. In Rosey-Lea Butterfly Mix. It's in a little pot because it came in their advent calendar this past Christmas. I've got it ready to go in a little triangle tray. Excuse me. And I've pulled a few of the butterflies out of it just in case I want to apply them. I don't have to dig around in the mix looking for them. My prep products are going to be from Born Pretty. That's a system I use. The dehydrator and the acid-free primer. They're 6-in-1 base coat. The hard gel I'm using is their Nude Pink and Clear. And then I have a white gel paint from Mia's Secret that I'm going to be using, but we'll get to that later. Okay, so dehydrator. This is one product I really like to apply very liberally. It's basically just like alcohol. It just dries out the nail plate and the surrounding skin if you feel like you need it, and I always feel like I need it. So yeah, I just soak my fingers down in this stuff. It's not gonna cause any problems or anything applying a lot of it, so I go really hard with this stuff. Gonna let that dry, and it takes no time. Alcohol, it dries pretty much as soon as it hits the surface. Now, time for primer. Very light layer of this stuff. This is one of those products I have found, primer and base coat. I have found that for my nails especially, less is more. But I think for most people, they're going to find that for primer and base coat, you want to use very, very little. Okay. I'm only applying it to the natural nail here and making sure I'm getting all around the edges, making sure my whole nail plate is covered, but you don't want to get it on your skin. I mean, it's an acid-free primer. It's not going to burn or anything, but I feel like if you get it on your skin, my thought is that the gel will want to follow it. So, yeah, I try and just be very careful and keep it confined to my natural nail. And just going back and making sure I got everything. And we'll let that dry for just a few seconds. And then it'll be time for base coat. Now my base coat, like I said, is a 6-in-1 from Born Pretty. This is the base coat that I have found works best for my nails, and this is the method I have found that works best. And trust me, this has been a lot of trial and error. I have those nails that are prone to lifting, especially on my dominant hand, which is my right hand. I'm a stay-at-home mom. My hands are in dishwater and cleaners and stuff a lot. So, and I do wear gloves, but still, I'm prone. They're prone to lifting. So this is the method that I found works best. I'm going to be using just a round gel brush that I got in that pink set that I showed in my Temu haul. And what I'm doing here is I am just kind of scrubbing that base coat into my natural nail. I'm pulling the excess down onto my tip. And I have figured out that putting the base coat down over your tip, for me anyway, helps stop the eventual separation of the tip from the gel after a week or two. Even though I do go in and file my tips, because you have to. Gel will not stick to a shiny surface. So even though they have been filed, in the past I've had issues with, excuse me, I've had issues with the gel wanting to separate from the tip after about a week or two of wear. So this is what I have figured out that helps stop that. Okay, so time to get into the actual gel application. To start out, I'm going to be putting a very thin layer on all of my nails except the ring nail. The ring nail is going to be a full glitter nail. So I'll go back and do that with clear here in a little bit, but for right now, I'm just going to be putting a thin layer of the nude on everything but that ring nail. And then we will cure that and come back for the rest of the design. Okay, so off camera I did the other 3 nails in the nude gel, and I went ahead and built up my pinky a little bit. It's going to be the same thing on the pinky, the middle finger, and the thumb for right now. So I didn't think there was a need to show all of them. And the pinky, just the footage on it wasn't great. I broke that pinky in high school pretty badly enough to have surgery, 2 pins put in, cast for 6 weeks up to my elbow. So yeah, that pinky, I think pinky fingers have a mind of their own most of the time, but that one really does. So yeah, it's hard to shoot that one at all. So like I said, it's the same thing, the pinky, the middle, and the thumb. I've got my first layer down, cured it. Now I've just put my wetting layer down, and then this is, I'm going in with a scoop of gel to build up the actual structure of the nail. Just working that gel down, side to side, printer technique. I'm really trying to work on my application and get it neater, a little neater every set, and I feel like I'm starting to do a little better, but I'm nowhere near where I'd like to be. Okay, so got that one done and cured. Now this one is going to have a glitter fade at the tip of the nail. So right now I'm just building up this color at the top of the nail bed area. Putting down my wetting layer, and in hindsight, I didn't need to go all the way down the nail with this, and I think I go and end up pulling some of that gel back off of the free edge, because it's just added thickness I don't need. So yeah, there's my wet layer down, and now this is to build up the color, like I said, and start with a little bit of an apex. So I'm just going to work that down, just about to there. And I think I decided that was enough. So yeah, I'm going to flip it upside down for a minute and let it pull back to the middle. Just naturally, it'll just fall to the middle because of, gravity. And I think that's about, flip it back over, and then just kind of feather out that little edge there. Oh yeah, I went in my pot and pulled the extra off of my brush. Just kind of, feather out that extra, and then I pull all the excess off the end there. And then cure that. Okay, now we are into glitter application. So, this is a little thing I like to do. I like to shake my tray when I have like a mixed glitter like this. And I feel that, I know that for me, it helps kind of separate the chunkier pieces from the finer pieces. Which, can help when you're applying it. So, okay. So, thin layer of clear gel here. Just super thin layer, just enough to adhere the glitter into is all you need. going to do this nail, and I think I work on my pointer nail at the same time because this is such a thin layer. It's fine. It's not going to go anywhere. And yeah, so the pointer finger, and it's just the tip of it there, just where I'm going to be applying the glitter for now. That's all I really need to worry about. Okay, and making sure everything's even here. And I've got gel everywhere. Okay, so fun part, glitter application. Okay, so with my ombre brush, which is just my preferred brush for this kind of glitter application, just patting it into that uncured layer of clear gel, making sure that it's a full coverage application. You want to get it all over the whole nail, but keep it as thin as you can and as flat as you can. That way you don't run into problems when it's time to file. And so now I'm dipping into the finer pieces of the glitter that I've shaken over, on that side of the tray, and just filling in any little gaps, filling in around the cuticle line where you don't want big chunks of glitter at your cuticle line, because then when you go to file, you're going to have chunks coming out of it and bare spots, and yeah, you don't want that. So my little trusty orange wood stick, I'm telling you, these things are a lifesaver sometimes. I use these things for everything. With this, I'm just kind of making sure that there's no glitter sticking out over onto my skin. That's going to be a problem once I encapsulate. Making sure everything's pushed down, laid down flat, and going to be working on the fade for the glitter, or the pointer finger now. So this is just basically the same kind of thing, just patting it in, and then I'm going to fade it off as best as I can up the nail. And I think I get a fine liner out here in a minute to help with that fade. And it was about this point that I realized, hey, I've got gloves on. I can actually touch that nail and just pat everything in instead of picking up that stick every time. And so, yeah, with this, I'm taking my fine liner. I'm picking up some of the smaller pieces of glitter, so it looks like an actual fade and not just a harsh line across the nail where the glitter stops. And now I'm just picking out a few, I'm helping to fill in some of the chunkier pieces. And now I'm picking out just a couple of butterflies, and I want them kind of coming up the nail, like they're kind of flying up, I don't know. I thought it looked pretty. Okay, so that's cured into place, and here I am with my little stick, where make sure I can go over the nail kind of like this and make sure everything is cured into place. That way I'm not pulling off a whole lot of glitter with my gel brush, which, I mean, you're going to pick up pieces that didn't stick down completely. I do every time, but this just helps it not be as bad, I feel like. So yeah, now it's encapsulation time, and you've seen this before. I'll just let you watch. Okay, now right there I was just showing you that this nail is, the structure is not there yet. You know, the nude gel and the glitter are just there for color and decoration. So I'm going to be using my clear to encapsulate the glitter and build up the structure all at the same time. Okay, so now these are all cured. The pinky and the thumb are still not done structurally, but I'm going to go in and do a little filing. And yeah, I've got them all filed. Now I'm going to be doing a bit of a baby boomer on my pinky and my thumb. So I've cut down a little piece of sponge, and since I still haven't gotten a tool yet to hold those little sponges, I'm just using my pinching tool. So this technique, sorry, this technique I learned from Dorota, and I still can't say her last name. I'm not going to even try it. But it gives you a great ombre every time. So you just want to get a little color where you want it, which in this case is on the end of the nail. And then I'm going to take my little sponge and just kind of dab it off a little bit. This first layer is very, very thin. I think I ended up doing 3 layers altogether. And I think I cut the middle layer out of the video because it was just the same thing again. It was just very repetitive. And the video was getting super long. So yeah, you just pat that layer, get it blended down, and cure. And at this point, I've already put my second layer on. And this is the final bit. I'm making sure that the end is going to be super white. So just apply that white on the end here. And then take my sponge and just kind of pat out the edge there so it's a nice blend. And I'm telling y'all, this is the best way to do your ombres. It just, I never have a problem with my ombres when I do them like this. And, sorry, I know you can't hardly see, but there we go. And I did try and adjust the color a little bit on this because I felt like that the color difference between the nude and the white wasn't really coming across very well on camera. So I did try and warm it up a little bit when I edited, but it's still, I don't know. I've got to figure out my lighting situation. It's not the best. So yeah, so satisfied with all that. It's going in the lamp. And, oh, no, that was my second layer. Okay. I thought I cut it out, but I didn't. So, yeah, this is the last layer. And this, yeah. Just doing what I thought I said I was doing a minute ago. Just making sure the end is super white. And I'm going to pat it out again with my little sponge. And yeah, and this gives you a great ombre, and it's such a thin application where you're using the gel paint. It's works out perfectly every time. Okay, so my ombre is done and cured and good to go. Now on my pinky finger, I'm going to apply just a little spot here of clear hard gel, just enough to stick one little butterfly piece into, just on my free edge, kind of off to the side. I saw this on a nail on Pinterest, and I just thought it was so cute and thought it would fit in perfectly with this design. So, yeah, I'm just going to stick one single butterfly there and get it in the spot where I think it looks good and where I feel like it looks straight. And once I'm done with that, then we will get it in the lamp and cure that in place. Okay, so for the thumb. For this one, I didn't want to cover up my baby boomer here, but I still wanted like a little glitter swoosh on there. I wanted a little more something on there, and I didn't want to exactly replicate the pinky nail. So this is what I came up with for this nail, and I thought it came out really pretty in the end. So what I'm doing here is I've got a little bit of glitter on my brush still, so I'm dragging it through my gel and just kind of marking out where I want my swoosh to go. I found that works out better than just going in and trying to completely freehand it, for me anyway. That way I kind of have a direction where I'm going. So here I'm just applying, I started out with the finer glitter first, and now I'm putting some of the chunkier pieces over the top. And once I feel like this is, once I feel like it's done, then I'm going to cure it. And then I'm going to go back in with another very thin layer. Sorry, big loud truck driving by. Another very thin layer. And I'm just going to place a few of the butterfly pieces. So once again, it kind of looks like they're flying off of the glitter. And once I have gotten them where I want them and I feel like it looks good, then we're going to cure that.
Like I woke up in a ditch, like I was run over by a train. I've been looking for ways to get on, but I've been hungry for days. Thinking, is this what I deserve? God, I really don't know, but I keep looking for ways to get on. Look what my struggles pay. Praying for the rain to stop, praying for a fair heat, I've been looking for ways to get on, but my hunger won't leave. But then, when it couldn't get any worse, the tables turned, and now I'm staring down my way to get up. Such a beautiful scene.
Okay, so this pinky still needs a little more structure to it. Everything on there right now is just for color and design. So I'm going to be building up the structure on this, and same thing on the thumb. And it's just going to be my usual way of sculpting, just a thin, wet layer, then another scoop of gel for the apex and to build up the strength. Work it down the nail, cure it, and I'll just let y'all watch.
I've been looking for ways to get up, but my hunger won't leave. But then, when it couldn't get any worse, the tables turned, and now I'm staring down my way to get up. Such a beautiful scene. Now the tables have turned, for the better, not worse, and my hunger is no longer clouding up my mind. Now the tables have turned, I'm no longer the worst, and my hunger is no longer clouding up my mind. Change your scenery to be treated equally. Guess it's a small step for the world, a giant leap for a man. The bottom has its ways to keep asking for more and more from you, but I did on the side of the way. I wish I could get up. Now the tables have turned, for the better, not worse, and my hunger is no longer clouding up my mind. Now the tables have turned, I'm no longer the worst, and my hunger is no longer clouding up my mind. In the sky, the stars
Okay, so this is everything built up to where I feel it needs to be. I'm going to go file, and then we will come back and do the finishing work. Okay, so on my little piece of paper there, I have some white gel paint that I've dipped out of my pot. And now I'm going to be using some of those stencil stickers that were in my Temu haul. I've been dying to use these things. I've been kind of playing around with some of the shapes I didn't really like and getting a feel for how to do this. So I'm going to be sticking 2 of these onto this nail, and I have found that you don't want to smush them down all the way around the edges like you would if they were a decal that you were going to leave on there. You want to get them on there where you want them. And this one, I think I remember it gave me some trouble. I couldn't get it in the spot, and then I couldn't get it to, I couldn't get it in the spot I wanted. And then once I did, I couldn't get it off my tweezers. So I'm going to fool around with this for a minute. But yeah, like I was saying, I have figured out that you want to get them where you want them, but you don't want to apply them down so tightly that you're going to have trouble pulling them back off. Like, I try and leave a corner sticking up that I can grab here in a minute. So I just got my little dabber tool out. I think we all have a million of these floating around by now. And into my white gel paint. That's the same exact gel paint I was using for the baby boomer nails. And I'm just going to pat over top of these stickers. And as long as you're just kind of straight up and down like that, it won't matter if they're not completely attached to the nail. That will push them down enough so you get the design, and it comes out the way that you're wanting. So now I'm just trying to go in and make sure that it's got enough coverage on the white gel, and then trying to fade it out around the edges a little bit. I don't want to spread the paint too far on my nail, though, either. I don't want the whole nail to be taken over by white paint. Okay, so now I'm going to grab that corner that was sticking up and peel that butterfly off before I cure. And that was me getting happy that a design actually worked out like I had imagined. Because, we envision these things in our head, and very rarely, at least for me, very rarely does it come out the way I had pictured. This came out exactly the way I was hoping for it to, and I got so happy there. So, yeah, that's what it looks like. Nothing's cured yet. So, that's me just admiring my work there. So, yeah, it's cured now. And I'm going to go over it with my top coat because that nail's done. I'm going to go over it with my top coat. And, y'all, I keep looking at this nail. I think it came out so pretty. Got the butterflies and they're, the glitter peeking through. And I love this nail. This is I think my favorite out of the whole set. So yeah, that top coat definitely helps everything pop. And that's my Born Pretty Super Top Coat, which it needs replaced. It's thickening up on me. It's already a thick top coat to begin with, and I ended up getting a little on my skin. So before you cure, if this happens before you cure, you want to make sure and get that off. You don't want to be curing things to your skin. You don't want to leave things on your skin a second longer than necessary. So, okay, this nail is done too. So, we're going to top coat that and let that glitter come shining through. So, I'll let y'all watch and be back in just a second. Okay, so I've got the ring nail and the pointer nail done. So now it's time to work on that middle nail. I'm going to use some of these genuine Swarovskis, very few that I do have, and they're in Rose AB, and those came from A&A Glitter. And I'm going to be using my rhinestone gel from McCart. This stuff is just awesome. So, what I'm going to be doing is like a polka dot scattered application. I don't know exactly what you call it, but I've kind of molded over for a couple days, and I knew I wanted to do this. So, this is what I came up with. I thought was the best idea. So, I'm getting that rhinestone gel on the entire nail. And this stuff is kind of thick, so you want to make sure you work it out really well and make sure it's even and smooth and it's covered from top to bottom. And this nail, I knew this design was going to bulk out this nail a little bit, so I did end up filing it a little thinner than I normally would because I knew there was going to be a couple more layers on top of it. So it would, even out in the end and not be all wide and bulky and terrible looking. So I've got that on there. Haven't cured it yet. I'm going in with a layer of my top coat over the top, just kind of floating it over. And like I said, I thought about this, and I thought that this was the best way to do this. And they've been on there. Those rhinestones do not feel like they're going anywhere. So, I figured this would keep me from having to top coat when I was done and having to go around each gem individually because I'm not going to top coat over top of my crystals, especially when they're Swarovskis. So yeah, I figured this made like a kind of thick-ish layer, and those stones are so small that when I pushed them when I got them where I wanted them and pushed them down into the gel, that it came up around the edges and kind of self-sealed around the edges like it would if you went around them with top coat afterwards. Okay, so now I've got them on there in the pretty much the general area where I want them, and I'm going to move them to where I feel like is a nice even design. I don't know. I ended up getting a couple of them not exactly in the right spot after I'm looking at them now, but it's close enough. I feel it's one of those things that only I'm going to notice, I believe. So yeah, once I get them where I want them, then I'm going to cure. And after that, I'm going to stick a couple on my pinky nail. Then I think it's time. Yeah, this is all cured. Everything's good. I'm going to stick a couple on my pinky nail and top coat that nail, and then I think we're done. And that's that set done. Well, not quite. Cuticle oil, and then it'll be finished. I'm using my favorite Matcha Bell cuticle oil here in vanilla, and y'all, this stuff is so good. Cannot recommend it highly enough. Make sure you're getting underneath your nails when you use cuticle oil. Get those hyponychiums moisturized too. And yeah, get it all rubbed in. And I know I finish up here in just a second. Yeah, there they are. I'm so happy with how this set came out. Thanks to the 3 people who voted for this set, because I was stuck in a rut. I couldn't figure anything out. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for sticking around and watching this whole thing. I will see you next time. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment before you leave. And thanks for watching. Bye.